January 19th, 2018, a moment so bad happened that it became a meme.
1-1 in the towers, a dragon advantage as well. Ready to take a fight. Flash over. How do you... Just canceled. Caedrel just canceled it.
But while most pros faded into irrelevance, Caedrel pulled off something wild. He didn't disappear, he transformed. From a struggling pro player to the voice of worlds, to the man who built one of the most watched League of Legends team from scratch. He didn't do it with his crazy mechanic, he did it with something way more rare: authenticity. This is how a forgotten pro player became the face of new era of League of Legends. This is the rise of Caedrel. Before he was casting Worlds Finals or was trending on Twitch, he was just some kid who fell in love with gaming by watching his older brother play World of Warcraft. His name is Mark Robert Lamont. Like most of the kids his age, he started with games like RuneScape and Halo 3, but it was World of Warcraft that really got him. Eventually his school friends started playing PC games. So one day, Mark downloaded League of Legends on his laptop and the rest is history. He started taking the game more seriously and entered the competitive scene through the Spanish League, before quickly transitioning to the UK League circuit, one of the more stable paths into European League of Legends. At first he was a mid laner, but after years of bouncing between teams, he switched to jungle, just to stay relevant. By 2015 he was fully grinding through the UK scene, no big orgs, no flashy setups, just solo queue, screams and his cheap PC. Caedrel's pro career started in the shadows of Europe's competitive scene. Teams like Renegade Banditos, Huma and Schalke's academy roster. None of them were stacked with talent, most barely made playoffs, but each split gave him something new, a better read on the game and a thicker skin. His big break came with Esports, a UK-based org that joined the LEC in 2019. It was a fresh start for the team and for Caedrel, who by then had fully committed to playing jungle. But Excel wasn't a winning team. In fact, they spent most of their first splits at the bottom of the standings. Different rosters, coaching changes, even mid-season player swaps, nothing seemed to work. What stood out though was how Caedrel handled it. Even when things looked rough on stage, off stage he was the guy explaining draft, giving interviews and holding the team together. Fans noticed, so did Riot. By 2020, Caedrel had become face of Excel. Not because he was racking up wins, but because he was the one who could actually make sense of the losses. He retired same year. No trophies, no miracle playoff run, just a quiet exit and the start of something much bigger. Through a Twitter post, Caedrel officially announced his retirement from pro play.
I feel like the last 3 years of playing in the LEC has been an unbelievable experience. I did find a home in XL over the last 2 years when I swapped to playing jungle. And although it was fun to play in XL, I just feel like I wasn't able to bring them the results that I expected. I had such high expectations coming into my LEC split with XL, and I tried my hardest to push myself and the team that I was on to be as successful as possible, but in the end we weren't able to achieve the results. I can only really blame myself for that. I think now is a good time for me to step away from being a pro player, although it's been something that I've loved so much as a kid. So I'm definitely taking a step back and moving forwards. I feel like life's all about moving on, and someone very close to me said, if I spend my life looking through open doors and all these things that I want to do, then I'll just end up living my life in the hallway. So I hope you can continue to support me wherever I go, and thank you to everyone.
Caedrel didn't plan to become a caster. He retired in late 2020, unsure what's next. Coaching, content, maybe a break from League altogether. But before he had time to disappear, Riot reached out. They needed an extra voice for Worlds. Someone who could break down matchups, explain meta shifts, and actually keep up with the speed of pro play. Caedrel said yes. He didn't become a champion, but he earned something far more valuable: trust. And before we continue, if you're still watching, hit the subscribe button. Let's keep going. And just like that, he went from stage to desk. What followed was unexpected. He wasn't just decent, he was good, really good, fluent, sharp, and actually funny. He brought something most analysts didn't: a fresh memory of the game from the inside. His reads were accurate, his takes felt honest, and he didn't just explain what happened or what will happen. He explained why it matters. Fans caught on fast, Reddit was all over him. Memes, edits, Caedrel saved the desk type of comments. He wasn't just accepted, he was wanted. And for the first time, he wasn't judged by his KDA or win rate, just his brain.
If they look at Mad Lions' pings, are pinging this bot wave, they know the SK can end. Elioya might find an engage here. 5-man ultimate on the follow-up with Reeker. Ultimate comes out from Gillies. He's trying to peel. What can he get done in the backline? Reeker has the Guardian Angel to proc here. Kai's trying to find the hook, but Genex is going to dash away. Ultimate from Unforgiven gets 3 members of SK, but they have the zombie form. Can they follow up? No, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. Mad Lions have a mid-wave. Genex is going to run to it as quick as possible to clear it away. And just as we said previously, it doesn't look like Mad Lions can end the game. They have no waves to play off. They're going to get a second Elder Dragon, but they can't actually get anything done with it. Armut's going to defend the base.
What started as a trial at Worlds became a full-time job. Spring 2021 came and he was back on the desk, not as a guest, but as a regular. By the summer, it was hard to imagine the broadcast without him. And then, in 2022, came the World's Finals. His commentary had rhythm, insight and something rare, respect from both players and the viewers. At the point, he wasn't a former pro turned caster, he was a caster, period. He even started doing co-streams during Worlds, where his mix of humor and analysis drew big numbers. In September 2023, after LEC season wrapped up, Caedrel announced he was stepping away from casting to focus entirely on streaming.
I think it's just my mental capacity to juggle streaming and casting has kind of come to an end. I mean, my weekends were like start streaming at 8-9 a.m, stream till 2 p.m, shower in 20 minutes and run to a cab to the studio and then cast till 10 p.m. And that was fun for a couple of years, but now it's getting to the point where like I need to start prioritizing things to, I don't know, focus more on my personal life, focus more on one direction, you know. I feel like right now I'm trying to do 2 different things at the same time, and it's best if I just go down one route. So I won't be on the LEC anymore, and I won't be casting Worlds, as you guys have seen. I'll be co-streaming all of Worlds, so we'll be covering all of the World Championship here on the stream every single day. So I'm really excited for that.
The LEC finals between G2 and Fnatic would be his last official match as a Riot analyst. But even before that, streaming was already part of his routine. Since 2020, his Twitch channel was active, sometimes casual, sometimes more serious. And then came Worlds 2023 in Korea. This was Caedrel's first full-time run as a co-streamer, and it paid off. His T1 vs JDG breakdown alone hit over 2 million views on YouTube. At the finals, he co-streamed alongside eBay, and Riot Games even officially tweeted that Caedrel was the co-streamer for the English-speaking audience. By October 2024, he passed 1 million followers on Twitch, becoming one of the most watched English-speaking League of Legends streamers in history.
G2 is my blood, and I would never support Weibo and the Shy over a European team, especially not our best team, G2. There it is! There it is! That's the win! Get the burn! Yes! There it is! Get the kills! Get the kills! Yes! Bro, that's what I'm talking about! That's the game-winning play! Bro! Of course I'm not gonna doubt them, bro! Of course I'm not gonna doubt them! Xiaohu! No! No!
Let's go!
No! No!
When Caedrel stepped away from his pro career, there wasn't a clear plan waiting for him. He wasn't the one of those players who instantly jump into coaching or lock in a long-term analyst contract. Instead, he just turned on the stream without big announcements or flashy production. It was just him, solo queue and a webcam. At first, it didn't look like much. Another former pro playing ranked, maybe talking through some matchup, maybe molding a bit, but something was different. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. He was just being himself, and the people watching, they noticed. He wasn't streaming to show off insane mechanics, he was streaming to think out loud, to explain what was going on in real time, not in forced tutorial style, but in the way you would explain something to a friend sitting next to you. He was relaxed, honest, and when something was bad, he said it. When something was good, he broke down why, and people actually learned from it. But the more he streamed, the more people realized what made him different. The stream didn't blow up overnight, but slowly, people started sticking around. They started coming back, his chat turned from passive viewers into an actual community. People didn't just watch the stream, they felt like they were part of it. And Caedrel didn't change. He didn't start putting on a persona or chase trends. He just kept doing what he was already good at, talking about the game in a way that made you smarter, and making you laugh while doing it. He wasn't trying to be the best player anymore, he was just being real. Eventually the numbers caught up, his viewers count grew, his stream became consistent, and people knew exactly what they were getting when they tuned in. A good game, a smart breakdown, a bit of chaos, and a streamer who never pretended to be more than he was. And maybe that's why it worked. In early 2024, Caedrel announced he was joining Fnatic, not as a player, but as a content creator and official co-streamer for LEC content. The partnership gave him full access to Riot Berlin's studio and allowed him to keep doing what he was best at, explaining League while keeping it fun.
Alright, let's hope they don't ban Poppy and Zac on blue side, baby. If they don't ban those champs, we're chilling.
But I have a feeling with the amount of cooking that G2 can get up to, that might be the difference maker. And I love this already.
Here come the boys. Carry up. Oh! What the hell? What? What? Are you what? He just bard portals into 4 and Q flashes the angle to get the double oh my god!
Fnatic welcomed him with a tweet. Bro is on the team. He co-streamed everything. LEC, LCK, LPL, LCS, MSI, Worlds. His streams kept growing, his analysis stayed sharp, and fans loved his mix of energy and honesty. But by December 2024, partnership ended on good terms. Fnatic thanked him for his contributions, and Caedrel announced he was moving on to focus on something even bigger, building his own team. It was a move that caught people off guard, not because he wasn't capable, but because no one expected him to take that kind of leap so soon. Around the same time, he teamed up with sjokz to launch the first ever League Awards, a full-on awards ceremony for the League of Legends scene, held in Berlin. By the end of 2024, Caedrel wasn't just a streamer or a caster, he was becoming a creative force in the entire League ecosystem. What happened next was just unexpected, it broke records. In late 2024, just when most people thought they had Caedrel figured out, streamer, caster, content guy, he pulled something entirely new.
I'm starting an esports team in League of Legends. I had a lot of options for 2024 moving into 2025. There was definitely like one big project that I wanted to do to try and contribute to the scene. So I decided to go for making a team here in Europe, and the idea behind this was how do we make a team that's competitive but also really fun for you guys and good content to be able to watch.
He created a team, not just a stack for fun, but a real project. He called them Los Ratones, a name that sounded like a meme, but would end up echoing across the community. He wasn't just a figurehead, he was the owner, the head coach, the brain behind it all. With the baus on top lane, velja in the jungle, nemesis mid, crownie AD carry, and the final piece, the surprise no one saw coming, rekkles. Fresh off winning worlds with T1, joining what everyone called a meme team. And that wasn't even the whole staff. Although Amne joined as an assistant coach, Molecule came on as analyst. Every name on that list brought either skill, fanbase, or both. But what made Los Ratones different wasn't just the lineup, it was how they did it. Caedrel made it so that every player could stream their own perspective. He also casted their games live on his channel. The matches weren't just competitions, they were content, and it worked. Fans didn't just watch for the outcome, they tuned in for the chaos, the freakiness, and to see the way how pro games look from the player POVs. It came with results. After beating T1 on Red Bull's league of its own, they joined NLC, a tier 2 league, and instantly took over. Undefeated runs, back-to-back titles in winter and spring, clean 3-0 wins against Nord Esports in both finals. But the real story was the viewership. Los Ratones didn't just win games, they pulled numbers that NLC had never seen before. Hundreds of thousands tuned into matches that normally drew a fraction of that. At one point during NLC winter finals, viewership peaked at 360,000, and when they qualified for EMEA Masters Winter 2025, the biggest stage for non-franchise teams in Europe, even though everyone thought that they would get quarterfinals at maximum, they won entire thing. By the way, Rats did it again. Back-to-back EMEA Masters winners with 3-0 clean score in the finals against Barcelona. Truly amazing. And again, the numbers told the story. Record-breaking viewership, all-time highs for a tournament that had never seen that kind kind of spotlight before, and all of it, the team, the strategy, the hype, started with Caedrel. What he built wasn't just a team, it was a new kind of esport project, one that mixed old school talent with the modern creator economy, where competition and entertainment weren't separated. And somehow a team named Los Ratones became the most feared, most fought and most loved lineup outside the LEC.
Who is Caedrel? Some fucking degenerate ex-league pro that failed, that is trying to push the boundaries, or whatever the fuck boundaries he can find. Yeah, I always thought if I'm proud of myself. I actually don't know. I think maybe when I stop like streaming and like leave the content world, then I'll probably decide if I was proud, you know. So like right now, there's nothing to be proud. Just keep going, you know.
But you can smile this.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it, so everything's going good. Maybe like in 5 to 10 years when everything like quiets down, I'll look back and be like, damn. That was fucking stupid.
Caedrel's story didn't follow the script. He didn't win worlds, he didn't lift trophies as a player, but somehow he still became one of the most respected names in the scene. Just a bit more than a month ago, Caedrel reached another milestone. He officially became a part of Red Bull family. His welcome video featured Faker, Max Verstappen, Ludwig and other top tier legends. It was clear sign. Caedrel wasn't just a popular streamer anymore. He was now a brand. Even with 1 million followers, sponsorships and a packed calendar, Caedrel streams for 12 hours a day, almost every day. Not because he has to, but because he loves the game, the grind and the people watching. He was the meme, he was the analyst, he was the streamer, and now he's the guy building something on his own terms. Not bad for a player who once cancelled his own ult. If you enjoyed this video, drop a sub and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, I just unlocked channel memberships, so if you want to support what I'm doing and help me make more videos like this, you can join there. Thanks for watching and see you next time.